again to the class of today. We are going to be looking at primary chords on the piano. Primary chords on the piano. Because it's a practical class, I want you to understand that I'm going to be concentrating more on showing you how to identify the primary chords. Now, just as we know the degrees of the scale, we know that the first notes, the fourth and the fifth, they are the primary notes of every scale. In the same way, the primary chords are formed on the primary notes of every scale. So for this class, we are going to concentrate on just three of those chords of the scale: the C major scale, the F major scale, and the G major scale. So we are going to start with the C, and let's remember that for the C major scale, we have three primary notes in that scale, which is C, which is the first, then the fourth, which is F, then the fifth, which is G. Now, since we have those three notes as the primary notes for the C major scale, we are now going to put our chords. This time we are using triads. Triads, that is the three note chord. We are going to use a triad whereby the first note, the root, the third and the fifth, they are separated by a third. They are just third apart. So we are going to use that one. I will show you on the keyboard. You will see me doing it, and then thereafter I expect you to try it on your own. So now let's go to the C major scale. After we are done with the C major scale, we go to the F major, and then we go to the G major. Now, like I said, in the C major, the first note is on C, which is this. This is C, this is C, and this is C. Now let's start from here. Now, if we have our primary notes to be C, to be F, and to be G. Now, if we want to build our first triad on C, so I'm going to have a third, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, which is the fifth. So this is a triad. So now this chord is the chord 1 because it's built on the first note of C major scale. So this is chord 1. We call it chord 1. Okay? Now, if we want to get the one that is on the fourth, which is the second primary note of the C major scale, that will be F. So we get our third again from F, and then our fifth. So once we play this is chord 4 because it's built on the fourth from C. Remember, we are on the C major scale. Then, if we want to get the fifth, that would be G because from C this will be the fifth. So the triad on G, we start from G, B, and D. So we have this. So that gives us the primary chords for C major scale. Chord 1. On 4 beats, chord 4. On 4 beats, chord 5. Then I come back to chord 1 again. I take it again. Chord 1. I'm counting 4 beats. I go to chord 4. Then I go to chord 5. That is C major scale. Now let's go to the F major scale now. Now on the F major scale, this will now be our root note. Remember, for the scale of F, we have the F, the B flat, which is our fourth, and then we have the C, which is our fifth. So we have, because for the F major scale, only the B is flattened. Instead of using B, we have the B flat. So we have this. So this is our primary note for F major scale. Now, I want to build our chords on this primary note of F major scale. So the first one will be on F. Now, which will be our chord 1 for F? Will be this, F, A, and C. So this will be our chord 1 if we are working on F major. This is our chord 1, F major. Now, for the fourth one, which is chord 4, we begin from here. Then we have the D, and then we have the F. So this will now be our chord 4. Then the fifth one will be built on the C, which is the fifth from the fourth. Then we have this, which is E, and then G. So this is chord 5. Chord 5, built on the fifth of F major scale. Now, if we want to combine them together from chord 1 to chord 4 to chord 5, what are we now going to get? We have something like this. Chord 1, on the count of 4 beats, this chord 4, and then chord 5, and then we come back to chord 1 again. That is the beauty of the primary chords. It's so useful because with the primary chords, you can accompany any song. Even if you have not heard that song before, you can always accompany that song with your primary chords, no matter the scale that song is being performed. As long as you can find the scale, then just go on the primary chords, you get to know it. Now let's go to the last one in this class, which is on the G major scale. Now this is our G major. Now on the G major scale, that means we have 3 notes again, which make up the primary chord. The first one is G. The second one will be what? Can you try? It's a 4th. We count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. C will be the 4th. Then you can count, the 5th will now be D. So these are the 3 notes that make up the primary notes of the G major scale. Now for the chords, for the triad to be built on the notes, for G, I will have my 3rd again, and then my 5th is my triad on G. So I have this. So this one is formed on the first one. Okay? Then on the 4th one, which is starting from C, it will be C, it will be E, and then it will be G. So I'll have this again. Observe, this is the 4th chord 4 on the G major scale. Then the chord 5, we start from D. This time I will now have this note, which is F sharp, and then I will now have A. So this is my chord 5. My chord 5. Remember, the G major scale is the only scale that uses 1 sharp. So instead of playing F, we always go to the sharp. Remember. Okay. Now we now want to play the 3 chords together now on the G major scale. I have my chord 1. I have my chord 4. I have my chord 5. Then I come back to chord 1 again. I'll take it again. On the G major scale, this is my chord 1. G, B, and D. Chord 4. C, E, and G. Chord 5. D, F sharp, and A. Then I come back to chord 1 again. So that is all about the lesson today. The ability is for you not just to know the chords, you should know the primary chords on the piano. You should know the notes that make up each of the chords and try them on your own. Get a keyboard, sit on it, try your first chord, your chord 1, your chord 4, your chord 5 for C major, for F major, and for G major. See you next time. Have a nice time.